We live.
The Voice 17104.com.
Come on, y'all. It's the show. It's the show. It's the show. Ha ha. Hit it. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening in Pennsylvania? What's happening in New York? Like I always say, I can't control what happens on the streets of New York, DC, Baltimore, or Chicago, but I can always control what happens right here on Kenny's Corner. All right, all right. This is the fastest 1 hour show on the network.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Bill said, I'm tuned in early. Bill, you gonna like this one right here. We get ready. First of all, there's two things I like to talk about to get this thing kicked off. First of all, I want to talk about this homeless problem that they are now destroying that homeless area down on Cameron Street for whatever reason, health reasons, the aesthetics of it all. I believe it's more of the aesthetics of it all. But after that, then I want to get into this Dauphin County prison, this criminal system, this system that we are trying to, or we have sent people to go to the county because of their criminal activities, and we have no problems if you want to break the law. These are the things you have to go through. But on the other hand, there are criminal activities that are happening in the county in which the key should be turned around. And some of them people should be locked up in the penitentiary. It is just ridiculous. It is just ridiculous, ridiculous, ridiculous. So we'll start with the homeless people. Because once we get into the county, it's getting ready to get real deep. If you have never read the article on Penn Live, that is okay. That is what Kenny's Corner is here for. Kenny Corner wants to keep you abreast of everything, whether it's social media, whether it's Juju running down the street, whether it's the man over in Cleveland, or whether it's in my own hometown with these counties, this county jail, and all this egregious money being spent, and that the county commissioners knew about. Ladies and gentlemen, there has to be a change.
Yes.
There has to be a change. But for the most part, let's talk about, not for the most part, it's a very small part of this homeless situation. I am employed at the Bethesda Mission, so I understand homelessness and I understand what we do. I did 6 years at the Pennsylvania Psychiatric Institute. I understand homelessness and I understand what we do and what is our responsibility. I got that. My thing is, they're putting them out because they have tripled in numbers. Homelessness has tripled in numbers across the country. This is not the only city in Harrisburg. It's in DC. It's in Philadelphia. It's in Chicago. It's in New York. It's in Florida. Homelessness. So they found a place up under the Mulberry Street Bridge. People have been going down there. I know the mission, the mobile mission, has been going down there feeding, clothing, giving them blankets. I know other people, other organizations have volunteered to go down there. I know just average Joes have gotten resources up and went down there to help out the homeless. But now the city has had enough. The city has had enough. And they have now kicked them out, pulled all this stuff out. And they let them get this thing, the tents or whatever, to move on to where? Their condo in Bel Airs? You know, where they moving to? Where they moving to? Where they going? Where they going? Now we also have some homelessness down by PennDOT. And they run a tight ship down there, but they homeless and they same thing. The ones on Camera Street are known to be a little more, you know, do what they want to do. But where they going? So when that gets overpopulated down there, they go from there. We spend a lot of money on where we want to spend money at. But homelessness is a problem. Some say it's a choice. I don't believe that. A lot of it has to do with mental illness too. Don't ever think that is not the issue. A lot to do with mental illness. But where we gonna put them? What we gonna do with them? If anybody got any suggestions, it is time for you to suggest. It is time for you to suggest. If you'd like to call into the show and give us some clarity, you can always call us at 717-889-7181. That's 717-889-7181. We would be more than glad to hear from you as the show goes along. But let's get into this money-making machine called the Dauphin County system, prison system. So there is a fee attached. If anybody has ever been incarcerated, known a family member who's been incarcerated, all of us have been affected by jail at one time in our lives. There is a lot of money associated with, hold on, Bill said people living under the bridge since I can remember. So the economy has crippled our citizens that we can pay rent. That's right, Bill. That's right, Bill. That we can't pay rent. A lot of people fall into depression to the point that they are making decisions to buy something to eat or pay their rent. My Lord, anytime you are in America and those are the decisions, pay my rent or eat. When that is the choices that you have, then we have failed our people. I'm sorry. This talks about things like this in the Bible with the rich man and Lazarus, how the rich man looked down on the poor man, just looked down on him, the entire existence of living. But one day the rich man died.
Oh my, sir, oh my.
And the Bible says he was carried to Abraham's bosom.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
And then it said at the same time, the poor man died, he was carried to Abraham's bosom. But at the same time, the rich man died. And the Bible was very clear. He said he was buried. There's two different things.
Oh my.
And so as the rich are looking down on the poor people now, in their time of reckoning, the rich people will be looking up.
Wow. Oh my.
Towards the poor folks.
Oh my.
First shall be last, the last shall be first. So we're in a system now where you're up here, you're okay. You're down here, we got to step over. But be not dismayed. Everybody at one time will be in a position where they're going to have to make that decision. Now you'll say, oh, not me. I drive an SUV. When the pandemic was hitting in 2018-19, gas was almost $5 a gallon. I had to make a determination. Do I drive? Do I come home and park my car and do nothing else? Do I fall back on my groceries? These decisions has to be made as a person that was working every day with 2 jobs.
Wow.
So I know somebody making $7 an hour, $8 an hour, $10 an hour are struggling. I know they are. And then they talk about raising the minimum wage up to $14 or $15 an hour, and then the rich goes off.
Lord.
Well, that's going to throw our economy completely off. Is it? Because we make $14 an hour? $14 an hour, I still can't do what I want to do. If you give me $14 an hour, I still can't take a vacation. But if we make it up $14 an hour minimum wage, companies, major companies, your CEO is still going on vacation. They're still going to bowl games. Ain't nothing changing. Got to stop.
Wow.
It's got to stop. It's going to stop. The Lord going to stop.
Oh my.
But it's time for us. We always say we don't know what to vote for. I'll vote for this change. Let's get back to this Dauphin County. The money, the criminal activity. You know what? When you say criminal activity, that brings such harsh words, but I don't care. Criminal activity. So, in this funding that you pay, if you ever received a phone call from somebody in prison, they ask you, would you like to accept the charges? And when you say yes, you are connected to your loved ones and your phone bill skyrockets like afternoon delight. Phone bill goes up immediately. So they say, I tell you what, this money that we get from these phone calls and video calls, especially during the pandemic when nobody was allowed to come to the prison, they came over with video calls. All this was a fee attached, and a high fee at that. But then the money was supposed to then go back into the development of programs for the inmates and make sure that they lived fairly and had all the things they need within the prison system. Now that sounds good to me. If we're going to make money off of them, at least take the money that we made off of them and enhance how they live. Human life is human life. I don't care what you did, it's human life. You know, you go out to the county for selling drugs, you go out there for a year or 2 years, you're still a human. You still need warmth, coolness when it's hot, warm when it's cold. You still need that. You still need adequate restroom facilities. You still need proper refrigeration for the food. You need all of that. And that's what that money was supposed to be. But the county has made millions of dollars. Now, get ready to call in, folks, because we're going to have a good time with this one. 717-889-7181. So, since Dauphin County collected $3.4 million, you heard that right, $3.4 million in commissions from the phone calls and tablets the money has been put. The money put in jail was supposed to go towards the operation and the benefit of the people incarcerated there. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. That's a fantastic idea. But wait, there's more. Let me tell you where the money went. The county spent nearly $300,000 between 2019 and 2021 to purchase gun range membership to the 717 Armory for prison staff. The sheriff's department and district attorneys, criminal investigation department, and probation and parole. 300,000. They took the money that we are paying for our inmates so we can talk to our loved ones. And they took that money they made for that to give the officers free gun range. Free gun range. Free gun range. In total, the county purchased twice. They purchased more than 480 annual memberships. The jail had fewer than 300 full-time employees. I don't know, my math ain't math, and I was not great math in school. I wasn't. But if you paying for 480 memberships, it's me, and you ain't got 300 members, everybody getting hooked up. Everybody getting hooked up. There ought to be a change. Now, I want you to know your county commissioners know all about this. Every last one of them, straight across the board, knows about this. Straight across the board. They know about what's going on. There has to be a change. Since 2019, the county has also spent more than $160,000 to purchase new uniforms for the officers. I mean, you can't buy your uniform. Now, I understand you're giving them one. They first start off, and then you know, 160,000. 160,000 to purchase new uniforms for correction officers, including more than 35,000 for long sleeve uniforms, and another 35,000 spent on upgrades and improvements to the sheriff's department's holding cells and benches in the county courthouse. That doesn't look like anything for the incarcerated. It doesn't look like anything from the incarcerated. 717-889-7181. Oh, I'm not done. I'm not done. It gets ridiculous. This is why voting is important. This is why, straight across the board, it needs to be cleaned house. The commissioners know about this stuff. I'm telling you, they're not naive. They're not naive, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, it gets worse. The county spent more than $9,000 on employee appreciation meals. How does that benefit the inmates that has put this money in this fund that are doing this? I know you say, well, they're inmates. Yeah, but they're people. Yeah, but they did this. You're right. When you put somebody in jail, the punishment is separation from their friends and family, separation from what they're really used to doing, separation from able going to the store when they want to go to the store. The penalty is separation from society. The penalty should not be treat them like dogs. don't care about them. Because see, this is gonna come a time when we all have to face the judgment. And when they said, what have I done, Lord? He said, well, the way you treated my people, you've treated me. That's just how it is. That's just how it is. Listen to this now, $13,000 on office furniture and nearly $13,000, get this, on fitness trackers. So correction officers could participate in the county's wellness program. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Come on. Another $74,000 was spent on new vehicles. $32,000 for John Deere tractors for the use of the jail's grounds, and $42,000 for a truck with a snowplow. These are the things, Ronnie, that the county has been doing with this money. These are the things. If I sound a little hype, because I'm upset. I got people that have been in jail, and I got loved ones that have been paying this stuff, and no one benefits from all this money except the people up top. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. In October 2021, the county spent $3,000 out of the jail fund purchase for a new refrigerator for the staff in the break room, but did not fix the faulty refrigerator in the jail. That means foods get rotten. They still serve it. Come on. Come on. Listen. All my life, I'm uptown bang. I'm from uptown Harrisburg. And a lot of people on here also are from uptown Harrisburg. And we lost one of our soldiers, one of our warriors, in Jamal Crummell. Jamal Crummell, twice, not once, but twice, was diagnosed with hypothermia. For those who don't know what hypothermia is, it's freezing. It's the word for freezing. Hypothermia. Now listen. In January 2019 and December 2021, 1 month before Jamal Crummell died in jail, after twice developing hypothermia while he was housed on the M block, the county collected nearly, y'all ready for this, $2.7 million in commission, and none of it went to remove the aging HVAC system. $2.7 million. Jamal could still be living today. Jamal can still be living today. I know y'all didn't think Kenny Robb was gonna let this go without. Come on, y'all. Y'all must be crazy. Y'all must be crazy. 717-889-7181. 717-889-7181. It's an outrage. I need to hear from the people, because the people got the power. I'm sorry. Across the board, there needs to be a clean out up there. Across the board. Across the board. Listen, man. So they hired somebody to clean up this mess. It's consultant. All right, it's consultant. Hire somebody, please. when the county announced that the contract with Mr. Wenzel in October 2021, the officials said spending would be capped. I want you to hear the words that I'm saying. The spending would be capped at $175,000. That was his salary, $175,000. Cool. Oh, you brought in, you're gonna help fix the system, 175,000 your number, we got you. And that would run and through April of this year, 2023. But instead, the commissioners, you hear what I said? The commissioners, not somebody fought, three of them, the commissioners. Now watch this. Listen to these words. Quietly expanded his role last year, granting him an additional $112,000. Well, granting him an additional $112,000 beyond what he was initially paid. Yeah, $112,000. 717-889-7181. I know I ain't the only one upset. I'm not the only one upset. Bill says you are considered nothing when you cross the threshold of the prison doors. Nothing is for the inmates, but beatings. Oh, we seen that, Bill. We seen that. Hold on, let me, because I want to get all this, Bill. Beatings, being talked to, disrespected, not able to get your medicine on time, being written up with fictitious reports so that you go to the hole. Dauphin County Prison is a house of hell. It is a slaughterhouse that those guards prey on the inmates and families' income. Even when you send money to your family commissary, takes half, they take half and you never get what your family sent you. If they send you $100, you will get 50. Sad. And ladies and gentlemen, this is from somebody who has been through the system on all levels, straight across the board, all levels. Dauphin County is the worst. Dauphin County is the worst. There are people on the county commissioners that, you know what I mean, I'm cool with. You know, I'm cool with them. You know, I don't hate none of them. You understand me? I don't hate none of them. Y'all need to get it together. Y'all need to get it together. This is a sad state of an affair. Let's rock and roll, people. It's time to go. 717-889-7181. 717-889-7181. Let your voice be heard. Let your voice be heard. The Bible says, let your yea be your yea and your nay be your nay. But for me, I'm tired. I'm tired. I am actually tired of this kind of criminal activity going on here. So 800,000 over 5 years for building a fence in area. 300,000 so those in jail can have outside privileges. Now, one time did I say they bought it an HVAC for the inmates, so they can be cool in the summertime and warm in the winter. Now, one time that I said it was to upgrade the refrigeration system. Now, one time that I said this money was to be distributed for the upgrade of the living facilities in the county. Now, one time did I say that. But what I said a bunch of times, it was to benefit others. Man, they got pictures of the county commissioner sitting around. Just sitting around, making these laws. Getting kickbacks. So Barbara says, Barbara says, so if this is known, why are the heads looking the wrong way? Good question, Barb. They said, why are the heads looking the wrong way? If there's a protest, will anything be done? They said, obviously, many are benefiting financially with the current system. Yes, Barb. They are benefiting. And if it's known why the heads turn the other way, because when they turn the other way, their pockets get lined. Come on, man. Bill Jones says, I've been in and out of the system for over 27 years, juvenile, county and state. And I must say, like the Bible says, okay, hold up. Even the dogs eat crumbs from the master's table in the Dauphin County, and you get treated less than that. Yeah. Joe Robbins said, it's not criminal activity because what they have done is not unlawful or illegal. However, it can be asserted it can be asserted that it is immoral and unethical. You know what? That's what I like about Joe Robinson Jr. That's what I like about it. He cuts to the chase. He puts me in line. You know, because it is immoral, unethical, but it's all legal. It's all legal. In the corporate world and how you write it up, it's all legal. But guess what? If you get the right lawyer and the right attorney, they can make a lot of people's wrongdoings legal. We've done it for years. But that don't mean it ain't criminal. No. Unethical? Yeah. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe, because that's a great stance you're taking right there. But some has to be done straight across the board. This only affects us. There are people, there are families that are more fortunate to us that have able to put this kind of money in the system so they can see their loved ones. You understand? But I don't have that kind of money to send to my cousins. I ain't got that kind of money. I don't have that kind of money. It makes it difficult for families, you know, to support and call their loved ones. That ought not be. The commissioners, they got an average of little more than $55,000 per month in the 6 months period before the pandemic. I want y'all to listen to what I'm saying. I know y'all out there. I know y'all out there. This is not a laughing, shouting, having a good time. Yo, this is serious. $55,000 per month in the 6 months before the pandemic. Y'all want to know what happened after that? In the 6 months after, the average commission jumped to nearly $70,000 and has only fallen below $80,000 twice since the beginning of 2021. The county has brought in more than $100,000 per month, at least 7 times in that time frame. Am I speaking good?
Yes, sir.
Am I speaking right?
Yes, sir.
In that time period, the county has brought more than $100,000 per month, at least. At least. 7 times during that time frame. Barbara says something does have to be done. But who is the chosen one? Ready to take on the undaunting task. The undaunting task. This cycle has been going on forever, and we all throw our hands up and say, what can we done? What can be done? If not you, who? If not, then when? Even if you, Bill Jones says, even where you eat at your cell next to the toilet is not healthy. And the dolphin pays the fine for breaking the law. So that we stay in the cell and eat where you do your waste at. Yeah. They use that money for personal gain and personal use. Yes, they do, Bill. Because I put it all out there. I put it all out there. But someone has to answer this call. Straight across the board. Someone has to answer this call. Might be me. Might be me. I don't have the eloquence talking to certain group of folks in a way that they might feel comfortable. I might get a little uptown with them. But anybody, if any of the commissioners want to rebut, any of the commissioners have a problem with what I'm saying, this is all documentation. Y'all know it is. Y'all know it is. So don't look at me all twisted face. All crazy. Don't do that. Don't do that. You know it's out there. Y'all know what y'all do. So we're getting rid of the homeless. This is so crazy. We're getting rid of the homeless, and we have nowhere to put them. Or you can go to jail and get treated like you're homeless. Like I said, I work for the Bethesda Mission, and the work that they do is amazing. I never knew what the mission does until I started working there. My God. If you have any extra money that you would donate it. If you want to donate to anything, donate it to the mission. The mission has changed lives and still changing lives. It's a Christian-based organization. We love the Lord. We talk about the Lord daily. Bill said, if you stand by truth, you will have the right words to say, no matter who you have to challenge to make it right. You're right, Bill. You're right, Bill. The truth will always set you free. There are people out there that know about what I just went over, and it is time. It's time. 717-889-7181. If anybody wants to call in and talk about this situation, at 717-889-7181. One of ours has fallen due to hypothermia and a failing HVAC system. Barbara says, what type of services does the mission offer? And what are they? And what ways are they assisting the community? Well, I tell you what, not only do they feed the community, they got the veteran services that comes in on Tuesdays. They offer free dental, free medical on our clinical days. They take care of you from top to bottom. They provide safe housing, structured rules. We go out and we did some things at the Italian Lake at Christmas time, set up the lights, made it nice for the people to come through. Mission did that. The mission is a total care. Now, the living conditions are fair. No, you're not staying at the Taj Mahal. No, you're not staying in a 2-bedroom apartment with 2 bathrooms with your own personal parking space. You're not staying there. But what you are doing is have somewhere dry, somewhere cool in the summertime, and somewhere hot in the winter. Showers, clothing. You will not walk out of the mission. If you stay and work your program, you will not walk out the mission without any clothes. When you get there, if you need clothes, you will have clothes. That's what the mission does. You won't be hungry. You definitely will not experience hypothermia unless you already came in with hypothermia. Boston, do they have resources to get you back on your feet? What about housing? If people do not have housing anywhere. Well, the Veterans Association helps with the housing for veterans. We don't have vouchers for housing to say, okay, we're going to get you, we'll put you in this place. We don't have that. The housing is us. The housing is us. You know, is the program difficult to follow? No, it's not. We got rules. We got rules. Yes, it's a house of God at the mission. So yeah, we don't want a whole lot of cursing, but that don't get you put out. But we don't allow a whole lot of cursing. You know, we don't allow, and people say, well, we don't even allow the phones to be used on the inside. Well, that's what the phones are. Everybody got a phone. We allow you to step outside and use your phone. We allow you to have a designated area that you can use your phone. But we don't allow you to have your phone in the program. Well, why is that? Everybody has to have a phone. Well, we don't call several people on pornography on their phones. That's not going to happen in the house of God. What if the people are on substance abuse? Will a person be turned away? No, absolutely not. A person will not be turned away if they come into the mission and they are hot with drugs, you know, cocaine, weed, amphetamines, you know, morphine, whatever, benzos. You will not be turned away, but you are required to stay clean. You are required that we understand how it stays in your system for 30 days or so. So when you get tested after that, you know, if you're still just as high as you are in the day, then you'll be asked to leave. But being on drugs is not a disqualification. So we're trying. We're trying. We have connected. We have hooked up with another company that has provided some housing for people. We're trying. The numbers are overwhelming of the help that is needed, but we're trying. I don't know what the city of Harrisburg or the city of anything is going to do with their homeless situation. You know, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. Give them a big field. Yeah, how about that? Let's give them a big field as they rock out. It'd be like what was that concert in the 60s? Woodstock. It'd be like Woodstock for the homeless. Do you find this type of work rewarding or draining? Yes, both at the exact same time. Rewarding and draining at the exact same time. Draining because when you really are about people they take from you emotionally because you're pouring so much of you into them, whether it's in the counseling session or whether it's in the chapel ministering, or whether they need to pray for me, stop you in the hallway. Yes, but it's so rewarding because not only is it just helping humanity, but at the Bethesda mission, it's doing the work of the Lord as well. And I really, really do appreciate that. It is an amazing place to be. 717-889-7181. But let me tell you this also. This is going to be on YouTube. I need you all to like and subscribe and share. Not for my benefit, but for the benefit that the more this gets out, the more it becomes aware. Yeah, things will change. Things will change. Things will change. Like, share, subscribe. Go to YouTube, Kenny's Corner. Kenny's Corner. There's a few programs. I put my programs on there. And we like to just keep it going. Keep it going. Like I said, the last show was our welcome back show for my vacation. This show, a little more serious. You know, we'll get back to we'll get back to the razzle and the dazzle. Don't get me wrong. But this came across my desk and it infuriated me. And if anybody knows anything about me, and once I get it, I can't let it go. I'm like a dog with a bone. Do females reside there too, and is it safe for them? The mission is truly a strong pillar in the community. Well done. No, the females are not welcomed. They're not welcomed in that mission, not with men. We separate them. We do have a female mission. We do have a women's mission where they are protected, where it's very safe. You can't just walk up to the door. You can't just go in. You can't do none of that, the women's mission. Because some women go there for shelter from abuse, and the mission is there to help them. And it's all funded through the main mission. The mission works on a budget that is all dedicated, that people have given. The mission takes no government subsidized money, doesn't do any of that. Because when you take their money, you got to live by their rules. And the mission doesn't do that. They live by God's rules. And so all the money comes from donations. Praise God. Praise God. Well, normally we go to 9:10, but we're going to cut this one a little short today. Because this has emotionally drained me. This is too much. This is too much. And if any of the county commissioners bumps into me and says, hey, Kenny, I want to talk about, we can talk about it. But this has to change. Straight across the board. Straight across the board.
Invite him on the show.
You know what? What them jokers' names? George Hartwick.
Space.
No, one left.
Okay.
I don't know the other guy's name. Haste. George Hartwick, Haste. It was Priest. One of them left. I think it was Priest. But I know George Hartwick for sure is still there. And so
Chad Saylor.
Ted Saylor, George Hartwick, Ted Saylor, and Mike Priest. Go on to the show. Go on to The Voice. Contact me.
Zoom in.
Huh?
You can zoom in.
Yeah, we can zoom you in. You ain't got to come into the studio. And you can give your rebuttal, your feedback. We would love to hear from you. Because guess what? It's just Kenny's Corner. I may got it wrong. Or I may not. The choice is yours. You can contact me on Facebook, Kenny Robinson. Phone number's on there on my Facebook page somewhere. Yeah, Mike Priest, George Hartwick, Chad Saylor. I'm like Run DMC in the 80s. Tinted windows don't be nothing. Y'all know who's inside. I'm easy to find. but I'm definitely hard to forget. All right now, we get ready to wrap this thing up. And like I always say, I can't control what happens on the streets of New York, DC, Chicago, or Brooklyn. But I can always control what happens right here on Kenny's Corner.